It is semi-final time for ARX and final time for ARX2, followed by a final, of course, for our ARX drivers as well. We're reaching the end of round 3 of RX2 and round 2 of ARX. So nice and complicated for you with double headers for our ARX2 and single headers for ARX at the last one. This time it's a double header for both categories. So looking forward to this. My name is Andrew Cully. This is Bucky Lasek. Bucky, Scott, he's looking good for this, but
yeah,
he has got Tanner Faust on the front row with him, and that's kind of like my favourite front row.
I think it's kind of good that Subaru made all their panels on their car a little thicker, just for this reason coming up.
Ex-teammates, we know that they got on fine when they're at Volkswagen. You have to get on fine with your teammate there. Gloves are off when you're with separate manufacturers, and we like that, don't we?
Oh, we totally love that. I mean, why can't there be more manufacturers out there? If everyone could be in their own car manufactured by a different company, then it would be like a good.
We just
I wouldn't say smash fest, but it would be like a good.
20 manufacturers would be ideal. So there'd be no team orders at all then, would there?
But yeah, look, we don't like those.
There weren't any team orders last time out in Q3, so have a look at this. If you missed any of the action, this was the final qualifying session to decide who went where in the semi-finals. So Tanner Faust here on the outside of his teammate Cabot Bigham. Steve Arkin was on the inside. Tanner getting into that dirt looked just a little bit too sideways, and that meant that Arpin was able to get the whole shot. Tanner then went joker, and we'd seen Tanner pretty sideways. He then tidied it up on the next couple of laps and really started chasing down Arpin. This was in Arpin went joker, and you could see the commitment from Faust through the joker and to the finish line. Did the fastest time of the weekend. It was some 2.5, 3 seconds quicker than any of the Subarus had gone, because it was Speed who'd won the 2 previous sessions. Scott Speed on the inside of this, beat his teammate Sandell off the line. Pico in between him and Atco. Pico then ran just a little bit wide. He had a tiny bit of contact here. You'll see the nose, I think, of Sandell comes across Pico. Here it is. He then runs out and actually does a really good job there to avoid hitting Atkinson. Atkinson goes joker. Pico then picked up a front left puncture, so that was him dropping down the order of P3 prior to this session, and unfortunately with that puncture would drop back. So it was a teammate battle, Sandell versus Scott Speed. That was Sandell coming out in front of Atco. Speed into the joker on the last lap, and Sandell actually had a couple of tenths off him, but didn't know what to do, whether to close the door on the outside or the inside. He did, I think there he kept the car tight on the inside, thinking that Speed was going to try and get the undercut on him. But Speed had managed to get around the outside of him anyway. He took the win, but not as fast as Tanner. So let's take a little look at the track ahead of semi-final time. Apparently it's just been watered, so that should be interesting. We saw in the ARX2 semis, we saw Fraser McConnell had a big moment, didn't he? And Alex Keys as well. So yeah, it's going to make it tricky for these guys.
It is. First one out there. It's going to be hard to tell. So spotters, be aware.
Yeah, they're going to need to be absolutely on it, aren't they? So it will dry pretty quickly. I say it's 100 degrees here today. So very, very hot indeed, and expect the track to dry up quickly. So we might see some dust towards the end of the session. But end of day one here, looking forward to this. Semi-finals are always exciting. Then, of course, the final as well, when everyone's going to get stuck in, see who's going to take round 2 of ARX. Who's your money on?
Who do we got up first? Speed and
Tanner? Faust, Atco and Bigham.
Man, I'm going to have to go with Speed, just because he's not going to give up the inside line.
I'm going to go Faust just so we can have a bet.
All right.
Live betting for you at home. It'll be a good fight. It will be a good fight. And then, of course, we've got semi-final 2 as well. So we can give you. So the semi-final 2 is what Sandell, Arpin, and Picoy. So those guys, okay, we know they all go through, but it is important on what road you go through. So all to play for. Right, let's take a look then at the qualifying. Well, now the qualifying stages are over. So let's take a look and see where everybody lines up in the semi-finals. Scott Speed then takes the top qualifying spot from Patrick Sandell, Tanner Faust, Steve Arpin, Chris Atkinson, Travis Picoy and Cabot Bigham. And as we've just been discussing, the odds go to semi-final 1 and the evens go to semi-final number 2. So Speed versus Faust, Sandell versus Arpin. So we're not going to have any teammate business on the front rows in either of these. Right, where are the cars? Are they down in the pre-grid or not? We'll just have a look over our shoulders. Yeah, we can see. I can see the Subarus. They're all in hiding underneath the carports here. We saw the ARX 2 guys do that as well. So just behind the ARX arch, you can see there the USAC truck, and behind that where the yellow bollards are down the side there, that's basically a huge open-sided carport, and that's where all the cars are. So they were lining up in the pre-grid, which was between these flags and that building, but they've decided now that with the heat as it is, and it is super hot.
It's a scorcher.
Yeah, commitment from the spectators. Tyres melting out there on the tyre wall, I'm sure. We went outside the commentary box just a minute ago, and we had to come back in immediately. It's like metal doors, super hot. It's like some sort of challenge to get in and out of here.
I suddenly loved my job now.
Yeah.
Even more so.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't really want to drive anymore.
No, we're cool. Yeah. Not without aircon. Not without aircon. So yeah, we're looking forward to the semi-finals. Of course, we've got the final for ARX 2 coming up as well. Fraser McConnell didn't make it, unfortunately for him. So the championship leader has not made it. And looking at the fact that Alex Keys did, and Alex is only 3 points behind, I think we're going to see a change in lead for the championship in ARX 2. So we've got a few slight delays out there as we finish off, getting everything ready for the semi-finals. So we'll be good to go very shortly. There's the arch, the gateway to the west.
Beautiful city at nighttime.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Well
amazing last night. The baseball stadium was really pretty, wasn't it? The architecture, just amazing.
Yeah, we got to catch Angels game last night.
Yeah, it was good.
I mean, Cardinals.
There you go.
Yeah, and Diamondbacks. the
result didn't go the way we wanted, did it? You know, we said go Cardinals, go Cardinals
at the press conference. It went great.
Yeah. we had a result. The Cardinals didn't, did they? Yeah. We had our press conference down there yesterday, introduced all the drivers to the baseball fans who were waiting. You can see in the background the Speedway. J.R. Hildebrand has raced an IndyCar around the Speedway. Me and Bucky were going to race the hire cars around it, but unfortunately there are barriers down the straight which is going to stop us from hire car racing. I'm not sure my hire car would go fast enough to struggle for grip in any of the corners, to be honest, Bucky.
Well, I think we're going to actually just sweep the Rallycross course after this, just to make sure it's all good.
Yeah, you and me.
Yeah.
In the hire cars, or?
Yeah.
Okay. Should maybe have had that conversation off air, shouldn't we? No, we won't. We won't. Well, we might. Follow us on Instagram to find out. A few of the guys look up on top of the Andretti Rallycross truck there, so you can build these little viewing areas. You can see they've got a ladder up to the deck which loads the cars, and then another ladder up to the top. Some of them actually have like a hatch in the roof so you can climb up through, and a lot of these trucks have living quarters in them so you can take a shower. There's nearly always some sort of an engineer's room in there.
The cars.
And that's why, you know, these trucks are set up with all the aircon and things inside, because it is super hot here. They're hiding away in there.
RX2s.
Yeah, can't even see. We can't even really see who's in there. Is that one of the Beetles? It's hard to tell.
Is that?
Super dark underneath. Going to roll the rescue trucks out towards the track, and then hopefully we're going to get some racing underway. So apologies. We just have. I can see a course car out on the far side. So there's a course car going around the dirt section now, and coming onto the tarmac at the back of the track. So
that thing is bouncing around too.
Yeah, I think it's a track inspection, Bucky. So maybe after they've done the grooming, they've sent a car out to do a track inspection. And I have to say that the track's looking pretty good. I like the layout. What do you think?
I think it's an awesome layout. It's fast tarmac, and it's pretty much every turn is gravel. So yeah. I mean, that's a great mix.
Great flow to it, you know, like in terms. Yeah. The only point there's a couple of the Subaru guys. Interesting. That's where we are. So we're at the far right-hand end of that building, just above the word Raceway. Spotters Tower is on top, although you might have seen there's a couple of the Subaru guys who are on top of the Subaru truck because they can see most of the track there. It's interesting, some spotters are obsessed with seeing absolutely every single inch of the track, and others will deal with the fact they might not see it all. Another vantage point there. I think we've got our cameraman up one of those. I wonder if they hired that and brought it with them. I like it when people make stuff. Well, they didn't make that. Well, one of them, they might work for the company, might have made it, but you know when you see
somebody
like
made that.
Yeah, somebody made it. Yeah, somebody made it. I'm assuming he didn't. You know, the cherry. What do you call that? A cherry picker? It's not really.
Yeah, they got our antenna up on another cherry picker over there.
Oh, hello! Look at that! Come on, it's 100 degrees.
That's Fraser's crew. McConnell.
Is
He's
it
getting
Fraz?
pumped. Yeah, it's Fraz. That's his crew. That's his dad, I think. And
do you think that's some sort of a penalty for Fraz not making it through to the final?
I think they're just pumping it up right now.
Who is it? And now that they stand up.
Oh, that's it. Yeah.
Drop down and give me 50, son.
Yeah, it didn't
I don't know
make
where
the
Fraz
final.
is though. Is that Peter? Is it his dad? It's hard to see from this angle. Now they've stood up, but we can't see again. I'm impressed. They have no idea, do they? They've just gone out basically on the international feed.
I'm going to ask him how many he did. I counted like maybe 10.
See those stairs in the background? Those are the ones I ran up earlier. So the bottom bit's cool.
I board slid that whole thing.
Yeah, there's a lot, all the way top to bottom. Kept getting bonuses all the way down. There's the banking in the background. We're going to have to see if we can get Bucky to drop in on that later. Not as steep as some of the banking you've seen. Was it Daytona, you said? Super
Daytona's super. I could probably drop in on Daytona.
Somebody sunbathing look on top of the Volkswagen truck. I'm sure they'll get back into it once we get this racing underway, which I'm really kind of hoping they're going to do relatively soon. I can see a man running out towards the grid. Is that Henk? It might be. Fans look in the shelter of the shade as well. Or is that the queue for the concession? Not quite sure. So apologies for the delay. I can see our cameraman up our tower has got a towel over his head. And Bucky, actually, to be fair, the track, it's so hot, the track's drying rapidly. Look at that.
Yeah, it's almost dry. So these guys might have a little dust issue.
Ah, finally, we've got cars rolling up to the grid. So I can see the first of the Subarus from the commentary position. There it is. Scott Speed in the number 41.
He can't wait to get this thing going.
No. Is that a little photo going on down there on the floor? Not quite sure.
That's Yuji on the left that handles Subaru Motorsports social media. He's getting a shot for a post later. You'll see that. You'll see that on Instagram, I think.
Yeah, get old Yuji. Go on, Yuji. Yuji was a rally driver. Did you know?
Was he?
He was. Yeah, yeah. Yuji was. I think it was Red Dragon Rally Team or something. We spoke about it. So I tweeted about them years ago. It was a small Japanese team running not a Subaru, a different brand, and it was just he'd got a car together and gone and done. I think he did a WRC event in it. It was in the UK, and I was like, you need to keep an eye out for these guys. And he sent me a message the other day going, did you realise this was me, like 7-8 years ago? Yeah, it's cool, isn't it? Small world, always. Yeah, he's lovely, Yuji. We saw him last night, didn't we, down at the press conference down at the baseball. That Scott Speed's car was down on display, as was Steve Arpin's. Lots of interest down there. Some autographs for the kids.
The blue and gold looks awesome on the Subaru, I gotta admit.
Yeah, it does. I think that I have to say the car looks stunning this year. It looks absolutely brilliant. It looks like every inch a world rally car, doesn't it?
Luigi, Lance Smith's brother at Vermont Sports Car, does all their carbon fiber work. So when I say they added more layers, they thickened up the carbon on this car, that's like in between races, Luigi's in his little workshop just putting more layers on,
pretty much everything's in-house now, isn't it, as well, at Vermont Sports Car, with a beautiful facility that they've built, which I'll tell you what, would be the rival of anywhere in the world.
I mean, it's like a Pro Drive.
Yeah, absolutely. A Pro Drive would definitely like it. Definitely like it. Here we go then. Here is the grid for the first semi-final from Gateway. Round 2 for these guys. Scott Speed on the pole with his ex-teammate Tanner Faust alongside him. And row 2 is Chris Atkinson versus Cabot Bigham. So we've got 2 Subarus and 2 Volkswagens. Let's get this show on the road. A last check with the drivers. And the doors open on Atco's car. So has Atco got a problem? I think Chris Atkinson's got a problem. That is a disaster if he has.
I think he's just hot. Possibly, hopefully.
The marshals are pointing up to the lights. What are they going to do with Atco? I think he's called the marshal over. Is he reversing the car out of the grid?
Maybe he's going to pick a different spot. Maybe he had permission to maybe move to a different spot. Or he can line up maybe a little, angle it.
He's outside his grid slot there. For me, he's too far across to the side. Well, Atkinson's just moving the car back into position. Not quite sure why. Is he happy with it now? Well, we'll see. Marshall going to give the drivers the thumbs up this time. We're going to get them away. Revs up immediately, anti-lag on, ready to race. Here we go. Places in the final up for grabs. Great start by Faust and Atkinson as well. Atco going to try and go to the inside of Tanner. Tanner's right alongside Scott Speed. They're going to cross the dirt here. This is crucial. Almost contact between them. Faust goes sideways, almost a nudge again. Atkinson's right up underneath Tanner. Cabot gets up the inside. Atco's going to get spun round. Cabot Bigham trying to find a way through. Tanner Faust loses a few car lengths to Scott Speed out front. Bigham versus Atco again. Bigham shuts the door on Atco. Those guys are rub paint the whole way through the first few corners. Faust over the crest sideways. Bigham and Atkinson go Joker. Atco gives Bigham a little tap.
In the Joker. Oh my goodness, he is on one right now. Look, they're still battling.
Oh, this is a massive fight. Bingham's up the inside of Atco again. There's some grief here, Bucky. They're not happy.
Not at all. I wonder if Atco, I saw some wheel input back and forth. His car's looking a little twitchy. I don't know. He looks good. All right, he's good.
Well, I'd be feeling a bit twitchy after the amount of contact there was between these two. Bingham's gone wide. Atco's going to go up the inside. So a mistake from Cabot Bigham. Contact again in the background. Tanner Faust has got himself up to the back of Scott Speed. Is he going to go Joker? He does. Faust jumps the car off the side of the jump. This is a really committed Joker. He's going to hope to come out in front of the other two guys. Right, now it's down to Subaru. Do they respond and send Speed straight away? Do they think Faust is faster? So they might send him to defend on this very next lap. Look at how...
I'm telling you now, I think Faust is on one. I think he is faster. Let's look at his times.
Bucky's taking a look at the timing screen as you're looking at Atco, who is in front of Cabot Bigham. Remember, one of these guys is not going to make it to the final. Cabot Bigham didn't make it last time, and Faust with almost a half spin. He's two sideways.
Speed has him covered.
I'd send Speed now.
Might as well go. Send him now. Cover him.
And he doesn't. I'm staggered at that, Bucky. I would have sent him. If he'd spotted the mistake from Faust, I would have sent him to respond.
Yeah, maybe they're not that concerned about it.
Where's Faust?
Oh, he's in there. He went by. He's
I
in
missed
second.
it, so I just looked away for just a split second. So what's the gap now? Faust is 1.7 back. He's close enough.
He's still close enough, huh?
Scott Speed comes out, runs a little bit wide in the dirt. Tanner Faust with a tighter line, looking for traction. Scott's going to drop off onto the dirt now. What's Tanner going to... And he's sideways too. Tanner comes in this time tidier. So Tanner's looking for the clean line on the inside. The gap's down to 1.6. Tanner Faust hunting down Scott Speed out front. There's 2 laps to go. So Speed goes Joker this time. Right, here we go. They're watching for Faust on the standard lap. Speed's going to have more excess. Speed going to try and go around the outside. Tanner leaves the door open. Scott gets up the inside. I really thought Tanner would hold the inside line. Goes wide. Going to come up on the inside of Scott Speed. Going to flick the car the other way. Is Speed going to run it deep or not? Faust tries to keep the nose in, but Speed's wise to it.
Yes.
So Tanner Faust now got to find a way past on track if he wants to back in. I thought he might hold on at the exit of the Joker. Speed runs wide on the loose bit of understeer. Faust gets the nose inside in. Great race.
This is a really good race here. Clean racing by both the guys. Speed and Faust.
Oh,
Never give
sideways
up.
again.
Never give up. Here we go.
Having a look up the inside, and he gets the car straight early, trying to find that traction and race Scott Speed down the back straight. Tanner, to me, is definitely quicker, but he can't find a way past Bucky, and they'll learn from this for the final in terms of Joker strategy.
Subaru is definitely lucky that they were able to get Scott back out there with the pace that Faust has right now.
Yeah, Faust needs to win the start as well. Faust, of course, is going to be row 2 from this, which is not going to be ideal, although we'll still see him on the inside in the final, so it's not the worst place to be. We've seen plenty of action in turn 1. Scott Speed, they've done a great job of defending his leader. Tanner, watch him come sideways. I love that line he takes over the jump.
It's a beautiful rally line. I love it.
Proper sideways for Tanner Faust over the jump crest just before the Joker lap merge. But Scott Speed has got the job done here under a bit of pressure from Faust. He found a way past when it came to the merge, and it is Scott Speed who wins semi-final number 1 to go front row. Faust is going to go through as well as Atkinson, and it's Cabot Bigham who misses out on the final again. Bigham will be disappointed with that. Scott Speed will be pleased. Faust and co are going to have to look for some tactics to try and make their way through in the final.
Awesome. That was such a good race. I like watching that.
Here's the result then. Speed takes it from Tanner Faust and Chris Atkinson. It is Cabot Bigham who is eliminated. Well, we're going to take a look back at the action from that one. Faust got a great start, Atco did as well. Faust tries the around the outside again here. He kept the steering straight, didn't he, which seems to be the key to it, but still, if you're on that inside line, that dust and dirt that's on the line there. But it was about the fight, wasn't it, between Bigham and Atco? Yeah,
when did the fighting stop? It was continuous through the whole race, even in the Joker.
That was the pass Atco made, but watch this, there's more contact between the Bigham, looks to go up the inside, uses all the curve and a bit of grass, gets into him again. This is that another angle? This is later in the lap. That's when Faust, I thought, had made a mistake, but actually, look, super sideways. He was closing up. In the background, you can see there was more contact. Faust with a great Joker. My only thought is, could he possibly here, when Speed goes up, have kept the door shut, because he didn't quite for me. So Speed's going to go Joker next, you'll see here. Have a look at the exit bucket. Do you think Tanner could have kept the inside line and made him work for it?
I agree. He could have stayed tighter on the inside there.
Even if you back him off, you know, if you lift and he has to swerve around you, then you hold the inside line at the end of the straight. So, of course, Tanner maybe not aware of where Scott is, and that's where you need your spotter to say, tight line, tight, don't open the door. And from then on, Scott Speed didn't open the door. So Scott Speed, with a great performance, he won round one last time at Mid-Ohio, and he's put himself in the best possible position of doing the same here at the first of a double-header at Gateway. Speed wins semi-1.
It's not a bad thing.
Supercars pulling up for semi-final number 2. We know these guys are all going to make it, but still, we know how important it is to be on the front row as well.
It's funny, you'll get into battling for times, and then you find yourself having to battle for position in order to get times. It's like, you got to get past this guy so I can get a better time in.
I love the layout, and there are definitely places to pass, but it's still hard. I think you've got to do it with Joker, but I'm enjoying the Joker merge. The fact that, you've got this tactical battle on the exit. We haven't seen anyone yet. We've seen it in the World Championship, places like Barcelona, where we've seen people hug the inside line on the exit of the Joker because they know that the other guy's going to have to go high around them. So they'll compromise their own lap time because it doesn't matter at this stage. It's about position, and hold that inside line. But so far, I've not seen anybody successfully do it here, which I'm kind of frustrated by. I want to see a spotter go hold that tight line, make him work, make him go around the outside and try and get him on the inside at the next corner.
Yeah, I think it's kind of hard to do, though, because Sandell actually tried to do that last race, and he stayed inside and just got walked. He got walked on the outside.
Yeah. Here we go, then. Time for semi-final number 2. Patrick Sandell on the pole from Steve Arpin. And on row 2, Travis Pecoy. Super fast earlier today, but unlucky with a puncture. So what can Pecoy do from the second row? Marshall gives them all a bit of eye contact, points them all up towards the lights. We're good to go. Pecoy's had some great starts, but he's had some great laps mostly. So if he doesn't win the start, expect him to Joker straight away. Arpin's going to win the start, going to go round the outside of Sandell. Sandell in danger here of having... Pecoy gets a bit of contact from Patrick. Pecoy going to try and cut back underneath Arpin, super sideways, just about holds on. Patrick Sandell, we know, has been almost as quick as Scott Speed this weekend. Arpin is pretty wild on this first lap, but he holds on to the lead. Sandell's going to duck in behind him, and I would expect now. So are we going to see Sandell go Joker? No, I was expecting Pecoy. He's done it on all his other races. If he hasn't won the start, he's gone early Joker. Now he's got to hammer the laps in.
Oh, a little too much curve there. It seemed like he had to lift and correct there. Not the best Joker, but a decent one.
So let's look then for Pecoy in the background, trying to close that gap down. It's 3.0, top of your screen at the minute. You can see the guys with the red line haven't jokered. Pecoy has. It was 3.0 at the last split. What's it going to be now? 2.7, takes 3/10 out immediately from the lead. So Pecoy is doing what he's done. Bucky, the guys from Subaru should be looking at these times as well and deciding whether or not to respond immediately with Sandell. And for me, you would. But great, good tactics from Arpin's guys. So they've sent Arpin in straight away. Going to come around the outside of Pecoy, just about. So Pecoy's on an absolute mission. Sandell did look a little bit quicker than Arpin, and Arpin has now covered off his own teammate Pecoy. He kind of thought maybe give him another lap or two, and he might have got out in front. You could have seen Pecoy on the front row, but fair enough, Arpin's got to hold on to the positions too.
Sandell has a pretty good lead right now. I think he might have enough to pull this off.
Little clip of the time there from Steve Arpin. Picoy's absolutely all over him. It's interesting, Picoy, after the event at Mid-Ohio, was saying that he learned that he had to send the car. Oh, and he has a look up the inside, nearly sent it up the inside of his boss. Again, trying to find a way through. So good. We saw these two have a great fight at Mid-Ohio again, but he was saying he had to get the car, and when he looked at the data, he realised he wasn't driving it hard enough.
Right. Yeah.
And now he's found the pace. What does he mean? Like,
I think he's probably just not used to ringing out the car as hard as you would an RX2 car. RX2 car, you got to ring it out, keep the momentum. These cars, it's like a difference between like a Rotex cart opposed to like a shifter car, where you can make the mistakes, go through the gears, and fix your mistake because you have the power.
So Sandel's gone Joker, watch for the outside. Picoy's gone on the inside of Arpin. They're going to both run wide. Oh, they've got Sandel. Brilliant tactics. The two of them moving out wide. Picoy's off on the grass on the inside, pulls the car back onto the tarmac in the background. But Arpin in front of Sandel. I wasn't sure they were going to get that done because with the battling they were doing, I was watching the times at the top of the screen, Bucky, and they were losing time to Sandel. But they mashed it Arpin out in front. Oh, no, broken steering for Picoy. So Picoy has got broken steering.
He just needs to finish.
Well, even if he doesn't finish, of course, he should go through with a P3 in this one. Look at the smoke pouring from the tyre. It's completely off the side of the car. In some ways, Bucky, I'd take that out now because it's going to be a DNF anyway. I'd pull it off and get back to the paddock because they've only got, what, 20
Not
minutes
much.
to get that fixed?
Yeah,
not even that, maybe 15.
They got to fix a tie. It looks like a tie rod axle, maybe.
Well, if they can't get it fixed in time, then Cabot Bigham, I think, would get the place in the final. So let's see. He has to present the car on the pre-grid and ready to race. And if they can't get it repaired in time, that's going to be very tough indeed. So hard call from the spotters. I wonder if there was some damage. He's going to get lapped now. So he pulls the car off to the side, and that's the best decision in terms of not getting any more damage. I reckon now he'll head round. Sandel up the inside. Arpin's gone wide over the jump. Sandel's passed him over the jump. Arpin left the door open, and Sandel has got him.
That was our first pass we saw after the jump, and we thought it was going to happen there.
So Sandel has managed to get past Steve Arpin on the last lap, and it's Patrick Sandel who's going to come round this right-hander and take semi-final number 2. It's an all-Subaru front row in the final. Arpin gets P2. Travis Picoy is going to get a DNF here because the steering on the car is broken, and he has parked it. There it is, Picoy off at the side of the jump. I don't think he even attempted to get it over there.
So that's going to eat into the time that they have to fix the car
to
get it towed back.
So an absolute disaster for Travis Picoy. The car parked at the side of the road. They're there to recover it, but he's got a matter of minutes to get that repaired. Patrick Sandel takes semi-final number 2 from Steve Arpin. Travis Picoy is third with a DNF. It's a race against time for Lowenbro to get that car fixed. Otherwise, they give the space away in the final to Cabot Bigham. Off the line, look, brilliant start by Arpin, and Picoy as well almost gets around him too, Bucky.
Yeah, he almost got around him here. If Sandel would have tucked in a little... Sandel was following Arpin, and Picoy just had nowhere to go. He had to go out wider.
Arpin with a couple of little wild moments in this one. I think feeling the pressure maybe with Sandel behind and then with his own teammate as well. This was when Arpin went Joker, and this was clever because they had to cover off Picoy. Obviously no team orders between them. Picoy wants to go, he's 18 years old, he wants to be in front of the team boss. Of course he does, and that's fair enough. This was kind of clever as well. I thought there, if they'd been really clever, you could almost have seen them move across, but they can't calculate that inside the car. So Arpin was leading right up until the end of the race. Picoy with the retirement and a race against time to get that car back to the paddock. There he was, pulled over at the side of the road. And then Steve Arpin with the mistake at the jump. Sandel gets up the inside, and that was it. So it's Patrick Sandel that wins semi-final number 2.
Steve, that was probably the best racing we've seen all weekend. You guys were battling it out the whole time, one with your teammate and one with an opponent. What happened out there?
You know, I've been struggling all day. This CBDMD machine has been awesome all week, and we got here this morning, and I just sucked. Like, I don't know what the deal was. But I tell you what, my guys have worked their tails off, all the guys at Lowenbro Motorsports. Travis Picoy's been awesome all weekend. But that last lap there, Travis was broke on the inside. I gave him a little bit too much room to go around him. I got my right rear out in the loose stuff, and I just got behind on the next 2 corners and gave Patrick that opening to get in there. And that was a stupid mistake on my part, but hey, we're in the final. We're in good shape, and we're going to come back and get these guys good.
Well, you definitely gave the fans something to be excited about. That was very fun to watch.
We'll wait till the final.
Good luck.
Thank you, sir.
Well, Steve Arpin there, the P2 man, hearing from it. Would have been a winner's interview, but with 2 corners to go, he ran himself wide and Sandell got underneath him. Right, finals coming up then. We've got a final for ARX 2, followed by a final for ARX, and then, of course, we're going to see the championship standings. It's a double-header this weekend for both categories, so absolutely critical. And that's the race against time. I'd be very interested to see what is going on.
I don't think he's going to make it.
I don't think he is either.
No.
I don't think he is either.
Oh, it's gutting.
It is because I'm gutted as well because he's really impressed me with his pace.
I mean, if you look at Cabot and you look at Travis, look at the difference. They both came from RX2.
Yeah, but Travis
look at the pace that McCoy's putting up.
I wonder whether they're getting the kit ready down in the paddock. Be interesting to see. I don't know whether or not whether we can get a camera down to them. I don't think we can. I think they're too far away.
Hopefully they got guys there looking at the car, at least telling them what they need, which I don't see.
That would be normally. Travis, he's in the car. He's still in the car. So Travis is still in the car. So he may be on the radio. Might have got out.
I see a lot of head shaking.
Had a look at the front and said to them, look, you need to get this. Because that's what they do, isn't it, Bucky? So you, in this situation, if that was you, you'd be calling the paddock and saying what? Out
of my car. Go check out the damage. Go back in the car. Tell the boys what they need to get ready.
So they told him that he's got to get out of the car. Going to jump down from the flatbed. Oh, what disaster. Takes off his helmet and hands device. Still be super hot down there. Is there a walk back to the paddock or whereabouts are they? I'm trying to look out the commentary box window now. Of course, they're still over by the jump. So is Travis going to get in one of the other vehicles? I think he might be. I think Travis is going to get in one of the track vehicles. Yeah, he does. So Travis Peacoy, from the commentary position, we can see he's jumping into the side of one of the track trucks. They're going to bring him back to the paddock, and they're going to bring that car back as well. But you can see basically what the time limit is they're up against. We've got a 6-lap ARX2 final coming up, and then basically those guys have got to be back in the grid. So I think, look, what's the time for the final? Well, we don't have an exact time listed, but normally, you know, they might give them another 5 minutes off the back of this, Bucky, but
you're not going to
10,
have
11
much.
minutes.
Like, they may get it put together, but it's not going to be strung. It's not going to be aligned. It's going to be a handful. And who knows? I mean, Arpin took a pretty big hit from Sandell there. If they don't get that thing checked out, that's not going to handle the same.
Final time then for ARX2. Let's have a look at the grid. On the pole, Alex Keys. Next to him, Brad DeBerti. Been very quick this weekend as well. J.R. Hildebrand continuing to learn and very much enjoy Rallycross. Cole Keats goes through to row 2 as well. Bringing up the rear, Connor Martell and Michael Leach. Michael Leach stepping up from ARX3. Connor Martell, the reigning champion, who had that problem in his semi-final, which sees him on the back row. Can he take a win from there? Looking forward to this. Martell at the rear.
He's far back there.
Yeah. I mean, and finding a way out, Bucky, in some ways you'd rather be on the outside where Michael Leach is, because at least then you've got space to go somewhere. So Connor Martell at the back, the champion, going to try and find his way through along the front row. Keys going to be looking to hold on from DeBerti. Good start by DeBerti and Keys as well. Cole Keys trying to find a way through. Connor Martell's in a sandwich in the back between J.R. Hildebrand. Oh, contact between 3 cars. Keats trying to go round the outside. DeBerti drops down to P3. Keats has got to get the door shut, though. Couldn't see where Martell was from that rear shot, but it is Alex Keys who holds on for the lead. So Keys is in the lead from Keats. Fantastic job by him, staying out of trouble.
Yeah, he's doing. Look at DeBerti here.
DeBerti's in 3, so who's going Joker? Is that Martell? It's Connor Martell's gone Joker. So that's worked out okay for Connor. He's gone Joker straight away, and Michael Leach has gone with him. But Martell now has got to hammer the laps in. The problem for him is if any of these guys in front... or if they respond.
Does not want to catch.
Because if I was one of these spotters, you now quit Connor his Bucky. You're not going to give him more than 1 lap. I could expect to see 2 of these guys go on this next lap, I think, in defence of their positions. What do you reckon?
I reckon that. And also... I know, I think DeBerti is going to peel off maybe because he's being held up by Keats right here.
So Keats may be holding these guys up. Keats hasn't had the pace during qualifying this weekend.
DeBerti should peel off right here.
Well, they don't. None of them have, and I think that is
Here he goes. He's passing them.
No, he's not going to get through, and Martell's going to be on the back of them. That is, for me, that is a big mistake, Bucky, from all 3 of their spotters. Do you agree?
I agree. I totally agree. DeBerti should have peeled off, at least.
Any of them. You know, if you know that the champion who's been hammering the lap, look, he's on the back of them already.
Look, it's a train.
Anyone, particularly, as you say, the guys who are behind Keats, you would send them because you know...
Now they're going to do it.
Well,
it's going to be too late.
It's going to be too late. It's going to be too late. Now the spotter's going to be looking at it going, damn, we need to send them. And Martel's going to get them. Meanwhile,
Martel's going to get 3 for 1 here.
This is played into... I'll tell you, the other person who could go is Alex Keys. Because if he doesn't, you know, if Martel gets released...
JR peeled off finally.
So JR's gone, but too late. So he's going to get got by Martel. Martel now, of course, this is going to hurt him because he wants to chase Keys. And basically, he's going to be on the back of Keats and DeBerti.
Yeah, he's got to make it happen on track without the Joker, which is...
Well,
the hammer can do it.
Mistake there from DeBerti. That's going to help him out. He's going to have a look up the inside. He needs DeBerti to run wide here. Martel sticks it through anyway. Conor Martel back to his absolute championship winning best form. Martel makes a pass on track. Bucky said it. Martel did it.
Hammer. He put the hammer down. He's about to put the hammer down on Keats.
Well, Keats is going to have to go Joker here, surely. He doesn't. Okay, right.
He's done.
So into the Joker lap goes, that's DeBerti's gone Joker. Conor Martel is 2.9, so now we need to be looking at the battle between Keys and Martel. Martel from the back row and Keys from the front row, but it's worked out for Martel. He had to make that move. He made that move work. Now he's got to catch up to the back of Keats as fast as he can, and he's there already.
He's already there. He's reeling him in now. He's really good in this spot right here. He tucks it in. He doesn't hang it out.
Gets a little push. Get a little bit of understeer in the middle of the corner. Conor Martel fighting. He's 2.2 off the back of Alex Keys. So Alex Keys now, and his Keys stays out, and Keats is going in. Keats has gone Joker. This is playing into Martel's hands, but the gap's gone up by 3/10 again. That might be that understeer in mid-corner. Conor Martel from the back row has moved up. Keats merges in. Hildebrand holds on to P3. It's a good result for JR.
He's within striking distance. Once Keys takes the Joker, Martel is going to be right on him.
Watch for Alex Keys then. He's going to take the Joker on this. Look at the times as well as they cross the start-finish line. What's the gap? It was 2.3. It's 2.1. Martel's on a mission. Conor Martel from the back row of the grid is on an absolute mission to take the win here. He's carrying the number 21. He should be carrying the number 1 because he's the champion of this class, but he missed the round last time out. Keys goes Joker. Watch for the inside. Here he comes, but remember the exit speed from the Joker's so much higher. Martel's going to go inside. Keys gets contact. He's rolled. Alex Keys rolls. No, that's a disaster. Oh, gutted for Alex Keys.
Podium right there.
Oh. Keys has rolled, but Martel has pulled off the unbelievable win from the back row. Yes. Martel takes the win in ARX2. That is a brilliant, brilliant drive, befitting of the current champion. I can't help but feel gutted for Keys. He says he has bad starts to the season, and it was the tiniest of touches, Bucky, with Hildebrand, and it rolled him.
I mean, these cars are basically open-wheel cars. Those panels are paper.
Yeah, they're thin. But I was hoping to see him and Martel because of the extra exit speed. I kind of wanted to see it. Oh no, Keys. He was in P2, P3 in the standings, equal on points with Sage Karam, who's not here this weekend. Alex Keys from the pole didn't really do anything wrong there. For me, should maybe have jokered earlier. I know that would potentially put him back into the thicker traffic, but if he'd covered off Martel, he wouldn't have needed to close the door on the last lap. So Cole Keats rolling back to the paddock, but the person suffering the biggest roll there,
Keats survived
Alex Keys.
Huh?
Here's the result. Conor Martel takes it from Cole Keats, JR Hildebrand, Brad DeBerti, Alex Keys with a DNF having had contact with Hildebrand at the merge after Martel had fought his way up from the back row. It is a brilliant drive by Martel to take the win in round 3 of ARX2. So this is how the start went. I mean, Martel, Bucky, this is just forget everyone else, concentrate on Martel.
Yeah, just watch Martel. He's back of the pack, second from last.
And so he knows it. I guess he's hoping for carnage here, isn't he? And
He's hoping for contact,
yeah.
And there's nothing going on. They're all nose to tail, nose to tail.
So he goes Joker, which is the right thing to do. Leach is behind him, fine. but then it just plays into his hands because they should have gone on the lap after to
those
protect against him.
Cost Keys the race, I feel.
So do I.
By one of those three not jokering, they slowed down each other.
And that's where he won it for me. Martel forcing that pass on Berti, that is where he won it. To get a car through on track, just as you said it, this was Berti going joker. They'd all left it too late. So then, look at the hole.
Look at that.
That hole is massive. So there's a huge hole here going on.
So
And
notice all the guys staying away from it, so they were spotters.
Oh, tiny contact.
So that was
but a
Hildebrand.
huge roll for Alex Keys. Rolls the car and goes over. And it's Conor Martel who takes the win.
Connor, what a way to start your return to ARX. I'm going to let you do the talking here, but who even knew that was possible, what you just did?
No idea, man. That was incredible. We got a little bit of luck, but I drove the wheels off this DRR car. You know, I can't thank Wix or Takumi or ISMI Springs. They are awesome all weekend. Brian Reinbold's been awesome, and we needed some luck there because we started almost last. What an incredible race. I hope Alex is okay. I saw that he rolled or something, and I hope he's all right. And it's, you know, it's a hard way to win a race like that, but winning's winning, and I'm just happy to be back up on the podium for the first race back again.
Must feel good, and Alex is okay, so we're all good. But enjoy the rest of your day, and hopefully you can come back and do the same tomorrow.
Yeah, thank you.
Thumbs up from Conor Martel. Very happy indeed. The champion returns and he takes the win. So let's take a look at the championship standings after round 3. Alex Keys leads, but will he be able to race tomorrow? He took the top qualifier spot, he took his semi-final, but he was rolled in the final. Is that car too damaged to be repaired overnight? Fraser McConnell is in second place, having not made it through to the final. Keats moves up to third, Hildebrand up to fourth, Berti to fifth. Sage Karam has dropped down from P2 to P6, not being here this weekend. Ledbetter and Conor Martel. So we've just got the final of ARX to go here on day 1 at Gateway. It's round 2 for ARX, and we're going to see, can Scott Speed make it 2 from 2?
He was on a mission.
Martel, dust on the car. That was just, there you go, look how pleased he got. That was such a good drive, Bucky.
Yeah, it was really good driving by Martel.
He stalled it. I think they're ripping it out of him because he stalled it, yeah.
Yeah.
Call him over. Cheeky little drink. And a mouthwash. There we go. There'll be a fair bit of dust in there. He'll be chewing on track, won't he, basically? Oh, there you go. James Rimmer helping to push the car back. Go on, James.
Got Dad back there pushing.
Trying to jump start it or bump start it. Well, it doesn't matter. They can get that sorted. Bucky, how hard do you think Alex Keys' roll was? I'd like to see it again if we can. I don't know whether or not we're going to be able to do that because it's
the damage.
The panels are nothing, but it's the cage. And for me, it's how hard. It's the first point of contact and how hard it comes down is whether or not if the cage is bent, he's done for the weekend.
Yep, nothing he can do about that.
So we're hearing Patrick Sandell got a 5-second penalty. I can't see it on our timing screens. Yes, I can. ARX semi-final number 2, a 5-second penalty for Patrick Sandell, which puts him behind Steve Arpin. So Arpin then takes the win in semi-final number 2. I'm wondering whether or not Pecoy's car is fixed. And looking out from here, can't really see. Okay, we're going to take a look back at the roll from the ARX2 final. Here it is.
Watch
So
the
this is the merge. Hildebrand comes out.
Just clipped the rear of them and spun them in.
But that first hit's big, Bucky.
Yeah.
The first hit is big and it's on the tarmac. Going to see it from another angle. Check this. From the long shot. Do you know what? I think he got rubber on rubber. I think his rear right touched the front left of Hildebrand. So Hildebrand's got the lock on, and I think he's gone rubber on rubber. That's so unlucky.
Same thing that would happen in an open wheel car.
You can see the rear right suspension is broken. Stuff like that's an easy fix. As I say, it's just the roll cage. So we've got a question mark then over whether or not we're going to be able to see Alex Keys, who is now the championship leader tomorrow. That's actually played into the hands of Fraser McConnell, because if he'd taken the win there, then he would have been further in front. But I know Fraz would far rather race Alex than have him retire. So we'll find out, and we'll bring you the news on that in the morning. Be able to join us tomorrow, remember, for everything from round 4 for ARX 2 and round 3 for ARX. Doubleheader this weekend from Worldwide Technology Raceway, Gateway. So an absolute disaster for Keys, and we're still waiting to find out whether or not Pecoy is going to make it for the final, which is coming up next. There we are, St. Louis in the distance, and we're looking out the commentary box window and seeing cars being dragged back on flatbeds. The one car I'm most keen to see, and I'm looking out, is that Pecoy's car in the pre-grid? It is, so if we can see the start, yeah, so we, where is it?
They're fixing it right here behind the podium.
It's behind Victory Road, so it's behind the tower. Look at the ARX arch behind the tower. You can see a car just at the very top of it, and that is Pecoy's car. It's up on Jack's. Right, we're hearing then that Pecoy is out. So I think Pecoy, they've gone over the time limit, and we're hearing that Cabot Bigham is going to go through as the reserve driver. That's how the rules work. If you don't make it to the pre-grid in time, and the car is there, Travis Pecoy's car is there, it's so close to being ready.
They're bringing a wheel out. They're putting a wheel back on it.
So they're still thinking this car's good to go. I know you guys can't see this at home, but we can see it from commentary. Unfortunately, we don't have a camera that can be across it because it's not on the track. But we have Pecoy's car being repaired in Victory Road. There it is. You can see it now. There you can see it. So there's Pecoy's car. The guys are working on it. The jacks are there. But they may just have been told, the Lowenbro Racing guys, that you are too late. Because as you can see, they're rolling the cars out now to the grid. That's gutting for Pecoy.
I mean, we're talking maybe a minute or two too late.
Yeah.
That's it.
Do you know what it is, unfortunately, is the difference of carrying on for a lap. He should have just wheeled it straight off when it was broken and into the paddock as near as he could have got it. Because as long as he got through the paddock gates, Bucky, the guys could have gone and worked on it. They're working on it there, and actually the entrance from the paddock is right next to Lowenbro Racing's truck. So he needed to peel off straight away. I get it. He wanted to take the finish, but you know,
not enough time.
No, not enough time. Scott Speed pulling up onto the grid.
He's always first out there. If you're not first, you're last.
Is he going to be first in? So Speed takes his place on the grid. He's going to be hoping everybody else joins in pretty quickly because it's going to be hot in there. Bit of damage to his front splitter. Look, the low part of the bumper on the front. And the guys from Lowenbro, I think you can see in the background there, they know that the game's up. You should see Cabot Bigham arrive pretty soon, as long as Volkswagen Andretti were across. Well, okay, Andretti Racing now, it's not quite so officially. They've still got the backing of the R department from Volkswagen. I'm so glad to see those guys here, but it's Andretti Rallycross, the team that's running it. Now, Arpin going up to the front row. If you weren't with us just a couple of minutes ago, that, of course, is because of the penalty to Patrick Sandell, avoidable contact. Are they saying avoidable contact? Our timing screen doesn't quite show it, but seems to say avoidable contact in the Joker. So that was where he passed. So I think they're saying that he pushed to pass. I mean, Sandell would argue that, but so it's going to be Arpin on the front row. Sandell's going to go row 2.
I felt like he had his front end far enough forward.
Yeah, I kind of did too. But
it was a fight. It was a good pass.
I'd want to see a few replays, and I'm sure that's what the stewards would have done to see to make that decision. You know.
Yeah.
Sandell with a practice start and a little send. See what the grip levels are like. So Pecoy's not going to be on the back of the grid. Cabot Bigham is. Where is Cabot's car? Police say they've got it re-prepped. Right, so now Pecoy, they've got the car ready in time, unbelievably. So Pecoy is going to take the start. Now the question mark, there it is. What a job. That is an incredible job. The guys from Loughborough Racing have repaired that car in the pre-grid just in time. So you could see the cars practice starting. If the other cars had practice started a bit quicker, there's a strong chance that he would have been excluded for not presenting the car ready to race, and Cabot Bigham would have gone through. But the Loughborough guys have got the car in a condition where it can roll to the grid, and as long as it can drive to the grid under its own power, which it is doing now, then Peacoy will be able to take the start. I have a question mark over whether that car's actually going to be able to race, Bucky. We'll see. Yeah, either they've got the fix done and he's going to go, or he goes in the final and he gets the 1 point, he just retires on the line. It's better to start than to give the place up to Bigham.
It looks good to me. I mean, from here.
God, what a story it'd be if Peacoy could do something from the back like Martel did, having broken the car. That would be epic. We've seen such stranger things have happened.
I just wish my mechanic worked that fast. Wait, I am my own mechanic.
That's the problem.
That's the problem.
Here we go then, final time at Gateway, round 2 of America's Rallycross 2019. They're on the line and ready to go. It's Scott Speed versus Steve Arpin on row 1, and that's because Sandell was given a 5-second penalty for contact with Arpin in the Joker. Sandell then goes row 2 with Tanner Faust, who looked so quick but couldn't find a way through in the semi-final. It's Atco at the rear, and Travis Peacoy, whose car has been repaired in the last second to get it on the grid. Here we go then, final, ready to get underway, is it? Are we hearing, oh, come on guys, let's go, we want to see this final.
Simmer. Let them simmer in the car a little, let them simmer, get the vibe going, you know?
They're medium rare by now.
Yeah.
It'll be medium soon.
We want them hot.
So okay, we can see the track, Bucky. What are we waiting for? We're having a look around the track now. We can see some rescue cars on the far side with lights on, but they're just clear of the track. We've got a vehicle moving now. Okay, so we've got a groomer has moved off the track in turn 1. So I think that's track clear, and we're ready to go. Here we go. Let's get this final underway. 6 cars about to head down into turn 1. Watch for the ready to race light. Then we're going to go green. We've seen some brilliant starts from all 3 of the different manufacturers on this grid. Who's going to take it this time? Great start, Arpin and Speed. Arpin took it right. I'm going to try and go around Scott Speed in turn 1. Scott Speed's on the inside line, but Arpin closes him down. Almost has him in the tyre.
Yes,
Arpin's going to get round Scott Speed. The nose is still inside, though. If Arpin runs too deep, Speed's surely going to get inside him on the dirt. Arpin somehow holding on if he can stay on the left-hand side.
Faust spun in the back.
He's inside, and Arpin gets it. So Arpin gets the whole shot in front of Speed and Sandell. And you're saying in the background, Faust
spun in the background.
Oh, he's gone wide as he Scott Speed up and over that huge bump. We've got a big hole here too. Faust is off the track. He's in the fence around the outside. I'm sure he's okay, but he's spun the car off the side of the track. Out front, meanwhile, Arpin still leading from Scott Speed. So what a brilliant start, Bucky, from the outside, and held on through 3 turns.
Scott's trying to climb through. He's trying to climb over him. If he can't get around him, he's going to go over him.
So Scott going to try and find out. Scott's dropping back slightly there from Arpin. So Arpin's done a great job here.
I can't imagine that was good for Scott's car.
Sandell, no, neither can I. Sandell is all over the back of Scott Speed. So does Scott Speed have a problem here? Arpin goes over the Joker. Sandell goes Joker. I thought he might Speed. Speed's car to me isn't handling the bumps that well.
It's not.
Atco coming up the inside of Sandell, so Atco's going to get Sandell, and Atco's jokered already. So this is a battle again. Remember last time the Joker that merge didn't go well. This time it does. So Atkinson, who jokered on the first lap, manages to get out in front of Patrick Sandell. So these guys, Atco's on right up on Speed.
Look at the damage on Atco's car, though.
Speed's going slowly. Speed is going slowly. Pulls off to the side of the road, lets them through. Scott Speed is not going to win round 2. He's got a problem with the car. So last year's winner and runners-up of ARX are out of this final. Tanner Faust spinning on the first lap, and then problems for Scott Speed. Arpin goes Joker now. Great decision. This is exactly what Speed did last time. Jokered early, going to come out in front. Tidy job. Right, now Bucky.
Atco is in second, but he's got damage to the front, which was probably with Tanner. So I don't know what happened. We didn't see it, but that could result in a penalty.
He's wildly sideways, so Atco's sideways in the background. Arpin's made a few mistakes this week. And what's happened to Peacoy? Peacoy's 26 off, so Peacoy did have a problem with the car. I reckon here it is. Where is he? No, Peacoy's still out there circulating. If they catch up, he'll move out of the way, of course, because it's his teammate, Steve Arpin. Up and over the crest, he's got another
Echo's
couple of laps to
reeling
go.
him
Yeah, I was going to say, this is pressure, Bucky. Now, he's under super pressure. So what does his spotter say now to try and keep him calm?
If I was Echo's, I wouldn't say anything to Echo. I would.
No, for Arpin.
Yeah, for Arpin,
what are they saying to Arpin? Do they tell him the
drive
gap?
qualifying. Just drive your qualifying lap. Just drive. Put your head down. Stay out of your mirrors and just listen to your spotter if he tells you to get over.
Stay out of your mirrors is an easy. I guess it's easy to watch them.
Don't even look at your mirrors. Don't even look at your mirrors.
So hold your line. Don't leave a gap.
Just drive your quality line.
There you can see that was Pecoy. So Travis Pecoy pulled over to the side of the road there to let the rest of the cars through. It's a two-way fight. Sandell's dropped 1.5 off the back of Atkinson, but we've still got another lap to go. So still big pressure here. Scott Speed is circulating as well.
Front right is not turning correctly, and that's the one he tried to climb over Arpin with.
So maybe a bit of contact in those first couple of corners. Cross the line to go on to the last lap. Steve Arpin has got to keep it tight. He's got to keep it tight and clean on the inside there. Keeps it off the dirty line. Nicely done. Oh, big pressure for him here. This would be a huge result. Needs to watch out here. Massive, massive hole in the road there. They're going to have to get that sorted for tomorrow. Arpin straight through it. Echo's right with him. Seems to be okay. But it was a big hit for Steve Arpin. He's got just a couple of corners to go. Keep it tight on the left.
Are on.
Oh, tight on the right. Steve Arpin. Oh, no. Up the inside. Arpin's going to lose it. The last corner. Atkinson wins it. And the line. Arpin spins over the line. Chris Atkinson has stolen it for Subaru and takes his first America's Rallycross win at the last corner. Steve Arpin, did he break the car with that when he landed from the jump section? It was a huge impact, and he looked to be struggling, and Arpin has lost it at the last corner. Atkinson went through to take the win. Unbelievable.
If they penalize Sandell for the move that he did on the regular lap after the jump, then I don't see how they're not going to penalize Echo. Even though I feel that Sandell's pass was clean, he got penalized for it. Now, are they going to penalize Echo?
I think both the passes were. I think he was far enough up the inside.
I do too.
We'll have to see what the stewards have to say. It's not at the minute. It's not under investigation. If we get it under investigation, we will let you know. Scott Speed still trying to come around. We think we've got a replay of that last corner. Here we go. Watch this. Okay, Bucky.
Let's see how far in he gets his nose.
So Arpin's here. Does he push him from the rear? If he pushes him, nah. I think you're right. I think you're right. I think he might get. He's pushed to pass. It's pushed. He pushed him wide to pass.
Yep.
And I think that will be flipped. I think he'll get a penalty. And we might find Arpin is given this later. We'll have to wait and see. Here's the result then as it stands. Chris Atkinson takes his first win. Then we've got Steve Arpin and Patrick Sandell. That's the podium, but I've just looked over my shoulder into the stewards' room, and the stewards are crowding round a screen up here, and they're looking at their monitors to see. So is the result going to be taken away? But Chris Atkinson right now is with James Rimmer.
Thank you. Echo, wow, what a last lap. We all thought Arpin had it in the bag, and then all of a sudden you pulled that out. What even happened?
Man, I was closing the gap. There was dust, stuff going on. He slammed himself over the jumper. I nearly got in there, and he made a mistake. Second last corner, I just slid it up the inside, rally style, and man, from back row, that is so sick, so sick.
I mean, that must feel so good. If we look at your door here, actually, you could see, I mean, you can look at the contact here.
That was from the semi. That was just surviving in the semi. So, yeah, wild few races, but happy with that.
Oh, and now we have his better half over here. Patrick, 2 Subarus on the podium. That must feel good for you guys.
I'm so happy for Chris to take this victory. He deserves it so much. You know, all the hard work, everything we put into this team over the last years, and all the work from Vermont Sports Car and Subaru is just insane. So he deserves this one so much, and I'm happy to be on the podium too.
Yeah. Both of you guys deserve it. It's great to see.
Fun times.
So they're very happy with the result. The question mark is, will the result stand? You can see Tanner Faust's car is being recovered from out on the track. That was from lap 1. We're going to take a look back at the action from this one and see if we can pick the bones of it. So off the line, look, Arpin with an absolutely brilliant start. Gets around Speed. somehow here. Speed then gets the nose up the inside again. I really thought he got him there.
Great racing by Speed, though. Great racing by Speed. He just got a little over-aggressive and broke his car right around, I think it's after the jump.
And there was Faust going on in the background.
Broken right front.
So I wonder who Faust had the contact with, and you see again,
I think it was Echo.
You think it was Echo?
So that could be another penalty too, as well.
We want to see passing. We don't mind seeing a bit of contact, but Bucky, you need to explain to us what the difference is.
The difference is if you're making a pass, you're making contact, and you either break someone or push someone, it's not really a clean pass.
So if you can get the nose up the inside, if it's side by side, but if you have to push somebody wide to get the nose up the inside, maybe it's not cool.
I say your front wheels have to be at his mirrors at the least.
That was the huge impact which we spotted for Arpin, and I wondered then, if he was just being super cautious here, if he had a problem. He seemed to be okay, look, keeps the car tight, and then this is it. And
it's
for
a
me,
little far back.
I mean, it's kind of on. It's kind of on.
But see how it pushed him outside like that? It pushed him too far out of control.
Crowd coming down from the grandstands. They're going to head down to the podium. We got people up here who are shaking their heads and saying no. We're looking over at the stewards. There's like 10 million stewards.
I wish you had a camera up here to see
do
this.
I'll move this camera if I can and point you in there. There's like 10 million stewards.
Can we?
In the back, I don't think we can, unfortunately, but we've got, okay, 10 million's a slight exaggeration, 4. Yeah, there we go. It's under investigation. Let's see. So here are the standings for ARX after round 2. Scott Speed leading on 54 points. Steve Arpin, look, is P2 on 46. Atco up to 3rd on 45. Tanner Faust on 44. So it's actually really close. There's only 10 points in it from Speed down to Faust. Then Sandell, Pecoy and Cabot Bigham. So that was...
I'm like looking at the store. It's like
you need to see this. You need to see Bucky. Come on. We need to see. He's here, looking back into the commentary box. He's looking back through here. We're trying to get a thumbs up or a thumbs down, like a yay or a nay. A yay or a nay from the stewards behind us. Bucky's having a good old stare in, but we've got shoulder shrugs and all sorts going on in here. Is it a yay or a nay? Come on. Whoa, okay, we're not sure. We need to wait until it's official, but we're thinking, it looks like we might be looking at a, 5 or 10 second penalty. We're not sure. Look, we're getting hand signals. Okay, we need to wait.
I didn't know if that was a 55 or a 10 minutes.
Okay, we're hearing no change to the result, but we're seeing on the 55. Timing screen that the contacts are under review. So a lot of confusion at the minute. You'll have to check out the social media channels later to see whether it stands.
Was that like a go 5-5, or was that like 5 seconds, 5 seconds?
I don't know. Like, yeah. Like,
5 seconds for the first one.
Was it a 10 out of 10?
Good for Atco if no penalties.
Right, here it is again. Okay, Bucky, come on then. Stewards are doing this all the while.
All right, here we go.
I don't know. It's not a push from the rear, Bucky, to be fair. He's in the side of him.
There was a hole.
You'd have gone for it, wouldn't
but
you?
Look what happened to poor Arpin, though.
I'm impressed with his rearward driving like this, but...
yeah, that's pretty good.
Well, you've missed the good stuff up here in commentary, I'm afraid. You've missed, because we've just been... it's these windows, this one here, look, hang on, let me move back. Let me see if you can see the people. You can't. So there's a person there. I'll come back in now. But along this way, the stewards are around. They are around the screen looking at these replays. We've got on our screen that contacts are under investigation. We've seen some hand signals like this. We don't know if it means 10 out of 10, brilliant race, or 2 5-second penalties. But tricky. Bucky, I'm kind of, having seen it 3 times now, I think that's a hard one to decide on.
Well, my thing is that they penalize Patrick Sandell for the same thing.
So you're saying if they do that, they have to do this? They've set a precedent?
I mean, I thought Sandell's pass was good. I don't know.
We're not stewards, but I mean,
that's why I commentate.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we just get to go, ooh, what do we think about that? We're not too sure. Like, we don't actually have to make any of the tough decisions. There are people making tough decisions in there. They're still discussing it. They're still discussing. Right, we're going to take one more look again. So let's have a look at this. We've got another bit of footage for you. Let's take a look at this one. So this is from one of our high-up cameras. So here he is, look. He's closing him down. Got it in the slow-mo. So here...
I don't know. It's not like Arpin left any room for him.
Yeah, I'm really not sure about that. Because mate, I'll tell you what. I'll tell you one thing. I don't want to have to decide on that.
Arpin's front rights were on the
track limits.
On track
so
limits.
So you're saying that Atco's gone off track limits? But because
no,
the trouble
I don't
is,
think he went off track limits. I just think he kind of, with a little bit of attitude that Arpin's car had, he was able to get his front end in there. And
okay, well, James Rimmer's down in the paddock. Let's see who he's found down there.
Cole, you've put the work in, and you've obviously been very close to winning on so many occasions, but it must still feel good to get a podium out of today.
Yeah, I mean, after Ohio, it wasn't the results we wanted to, but I'll take second today. Like I said, I wish it would be one better, but I'm really happy. I mean, it's dry, Reinbold 1, 2, 3, so if that doesn't say anything, I don't know. But I'm really excited. These guys gave me a great car. I just made my own mistake and got a puncture with 2 to go, but hopefully tomorrow we can be in the fight, and like I said, I want to win. I want that thing.
I know you want to win really badly, and hopefully it comes for you tomorrow. Thanks, Cole.
Yeah, Cole.
They're still talking over here.
Kind of happy, but yeah, made a mistake. We're still there is still a big discussion.
I see hand moving, like reenactments. Or they got new dance moves. It's either dance moves or...
Yeah. Do you want to see some dance moves? If you do, you need to head up to the commentary box. We'll show you the dance moves that are going on next door. Do you want to see this? Do you want to see it?
I say we show them.
Well, they don't want to see it. Clearly, the director doesn't want to see the dance moves, Bucky. We've missed out. No, we're not getting any decision from next door. Okay, so we just sent our man next door. Right, James is with Steve Arpin.
This is going to be nice.
Yes, this will be nice. Let's hear from Steve Arpin.
Steve, what a crazy end to that. We all walked away thinking you had the win in the bag, and then craziness happened at the end there. Tell us a little bit about that.
That is the best part about this sport. You walked away thinking I had it in the bag, and then everything changed. So there's a lot of excitement there at the end, but this CBD car has been amazing. The whole crew from CBDMD is here with us this weekend. And I tell you what, the car, we struggled this morning. We had a hard time. I think it was the slowest car here when we first unloaded. But my guys just worked their tails off all day long. Picoy was fast all weekend, so we had a good baseline to go off of him. And there's such a big hole that got dug out after the jump. And that last lap, it was just deep enough that it hooked my front skid plate. And my God, thank God I got CBDMD for a sponsor because I am sore already. So we'll have a quick recovery for tomorrow.
Yeah, it looked like you almost hit 2 jumps out there, but hopefully better luck tomorrow. You obviously led for 5 of the 6 laps, so you have it. You know what to do.
We led for 5 and 15/16 of the 6 laps, and who knows? Hopefully they'll review that. Atkinson, he didn't pass me clean. He moved me out of the way, turned me around. So hopefully they'll review that. And maybe we'll get the win. We got a penalty for a lot less last week, so we'll see.
Sounds good. Thanks, Steve.
Thank you, man.
Very good there, Steve. He held his composure and
smiley, wasn't he? And then just at the end, dropped the veil.
Yeah,
he fired me off. I'm unhappy. Yeah, the monster came out, and yeah.
Politically correct.
Oh, there's someone just flown through the arch. Yeah. Oh, come on! I thought he was going to fly through the arch. Live from St. Louis.
St. Louis.
Yeah, I got told off yesterday, didn't I? I really thought he was going to go through the arch. Come on, like that was do you think they're allowed? I bet they're not allowed, are they?
I doubt they're allowed.
You think there'd be like a don't fly under the arch rule?
I mean, if I had a helicopter, I'd do it.
If you had an arch, would you ban it?
If I had an arch,
yeah, maybe.
I'd have an arch, I guess.
Well, more flags, more crowd shots, more pictures of St. Louis.
Come and fly through my arch.
We fly through my arch, says Bucky. Okay, the stewards have all gone. So the stewards have all calmed down, and we don't know what the decision is. Come on. ARX final contacts, no further action on the timing screen.
Congratulations, Chris Atkinson.
Chris Atkinson takes it. So there we go. On the timing screen just now, ARX final, no further action. So Chris Atkinson takes it with a move at the last corner. It was a great race. And to be fair, you know, no one really wants to see it decided by the stewards. No. Arpin kind of annoyed, but if Arpin was livid, he'd have been more cross than that. Let's take another look at it. Here we go. So this was the move for the win. The move for the win. Steve Arpin losing it at the last corner and Atkinson taking it. Let's take a look. Here we go. Talk us through it, Bucky.
Oh, here we go. Echo, as he said, he was reeling him in. He could feel that he had him under, you know, and then he just said he just tossed it in there, rally style.
It's borderline.
Yeah.
Whatever way you look at
well,
it.
Rally racers don't race against each other unless you're passing someone on a stage, and that's how you pass them on stage.
Yeah,
if they don't get out of your way.
No, you do have to let them know.
You move them.
Okay, well, look, maybe it's borderline. You let us know what you think at home. We'd love to hear from you. So you know the score. Get on the social medias and let us know. What do you think? Do you think the win should have been Steve's, or do you think it should have been Chris Atkinson? Positions change at the last corner. Cooper Tires girls are down there on the podium. We're waiting for ARX 2. Not quite sure where the guys are. Still rounding them up, apparently. You can see the cars down there in Parc Ferme. And up onto the podium then. Connor Martell, the hammer, yeah, absolutely fantastic drive. That's the drive of the day probably for me. Although
from the back, actually, Atco from the back as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, that is really unusual. Statistically, to come from the back row in a final and take the win is super unusual.
J.R. Hildebrand,
yeah,
welcome
podium.
to the podium. He missed it last time.
Yeah,
I think he got a fourth.
He missed it in both. He got 2 fourths.
Yeah.
So that's what he wanted, to go one better. And Cole Keats happy as well with P2. Good job by Connor Martell to take it trophy aloft, and champagne time after that. That is your podium for ARX2 round 3, and of course they're going to do it all again tomorrow, as are the guys from ARX. The girls will exit stage left very quickly. Let's see who the Champagne pros are. Oh, look, the camera guys, they're all moving away. No, not me. Always interesting as well, the drivers, because it's a double-header, Buck, if they don't have 2 race suits, they won't spray each other, because there's nothing worse than stinking of champagne, is there? It's just not,
some
pleasant.
Etiquette, some
not pleasant.
Driver etiquette there.
There we go. Connor's getting the camera out, ready for a selfie.
Oh, yeah.
Podium selfie. Connor Martell, seriously, great drive.
Yeah, really good drive. From the back row, kept his composure, and just put the hammer down, face down, clicked off the laps, kept his pace. Great spotting.
It worked out well for him, didn't it, with the way that some of the other, with everybody else jokering. I was staggered and a little disappointed.
You're banging on the roof to the spotters up top. Like, come on, guys.
The fastest guy out there's gone Joker 1. You respond straight away, because if you give him every lap you give him, he clicks another couple of tenths off you. And it wasn't tenths, he was killing them.
Yeah,
like he took in seconds. Exactly. So he got them. By the time they went, then he got lucky. He was brilliant with the pass. He didn't get lucky with the pass. The pass he put onto Bertie was fantastic.
Yeah, it was. Inside on that tarmac section, it was really dirty. And like I said, really easy to overdrive that section. And he kept his composure, kept the inside line, didn't put the right foot down as much as he probably could have. Yeah. And made the pass stick.
Yeah, really good job. Made the result his own, didn't he, basically, with that pass. Without the pass, he wouldn't have taken the win, and then he did get a bit lucky. And I'm sorry, really sorry for Alex Keys. I'd love to hear from Alex. I don't know whether or not James down in the paddock can get there. I suspect not.
So we possibly could have Keys and Fraze tomorrow.
What, out?
Well, not out, not Fraze, but
Keys is the one. We could lose Keys. Look at Chris Atkinson. He's very, very pleased indeed. Not getting the drink yet. I'm going to make him wait. Now, Steve's got the sunglasses on. Is that to avoid eye contact, do you think? Patrick, ever the pro, look, straight up onto the podium, chucking the caps out into the crowd. And there it is, the big trophy. Chris Atkinson takes his first America's Rallycross win here with a last corner move on Steve Arpin. Would have been a first win for Steve as well, so it will be disappointing, but Arpin still smiles. He's got his sponsors here this weekend. He'll be really pleased with that result. It was great pace from him throughout the final, particularly at the start when he denied Scott speed. And Patrick Sandell won his semi-final, was given a 5-second penalty, so he might feel a bit hard done by when his teammate Atkinson didn't get a penalty in the final. But that is your podium for round 2 of America's Rallycross. It's Chris Atkinson who takes the win. One last champagne shower today. Then, to be fair, Arpin and Atco having a chat as well. I think that's fair enough, Bucky. I'm going to ask them in the press conference about. Yeah, Steve's saying have some of that. I suspect the guys at Subaru have got another set of overalls, haven't they? Almost certainly.
Yeah, I think they have a few in that little truck they have.
Yeah, smallest truck in the paddock. Not amazing setup from these guys. Super hard work from Subaru. To be fair, it's 2 from 2. I think we were maybe expecting it would be Scott Speed who'd be on the top step of the podium. But he's an Odium. Okay, P4. It's not exactly an Odium, is it, Bucky? But
yeah,
we used podium on
huh?
Odium last weekend, by the way, in Sweden. You've been very proud of us. We know if you've trademarked it. Is
no,
it yours?
I don't know if it's mine or if I just heard it and I said it. I've hit my head too many times to remember.
Oh, there we are. Right, a quick selfie for the guys up on the podium. So there we are. Yeah, we should have a quick selfie. It's quite a long day, to be fair. So we have great stuff. Yeah, Conor Martell with the win from the back row. Chris Atkinson with the win from the back row. Yeah, we've had a few decisions gone some people's way and not other people's way. We've got a question mark of whether we're going to see Alex Keys or not tomorrow. I really hope we do. Saw Faust retire. Picoy, didn't really have a car under him. I think we're going to see great racing tomorrow.
Oh, we're going to definitely see great racing. We saw great racing today, and now the guys know the track. Now they don't have to save the car.
Yeah, good point. They can go all in tomorrow because they didn't want to have the big retirement
Although
today.
Was pretty aggressive.
Yeah, it's going to be good. Look, so tomorrow going to be fantastic. I say we've got a whole another day to go. We've got round 4 of ARX 2 and we've got round 3 of ARX. I think we're starting considerably early. There you go, 09:20 for Q1. So this morning they had 2 hours of free practice. They're not going to have that tomorrow. They're just going to have a little bit of a warm up basically, and then we're straight into the action. So it's going to be all action all morning. Q1, 2, and 3 done by lunchtime, and then the afternoon on to the semis and the finals. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks to James Rimmer, Bucky Lassett, myself, Andrew Coley. See you tomorrow.